Hey everyone, and welcome. Today we are going to build one of the most fundamental skills you need on your lean journey, and that's learning to see this invisible enemy that, honestly, drains value from everything we do. This is all about the 8 wastes and learning to see.
You gotta love this quote from Taiichi Ono, the architect of the Toyota production system. It holds such a powerful secret. What he's telling us is that the actual value-creating part of any process, that plum seed, it's tiny. The rest of it, all that juicy flesh of the plum, well, that's often just hidden waste, and our job is to go find it.
You know, in every single process, no matter the company or the industry, there is a hidden enemy at work. It's constantly consuming our time, our money, our resources, our energy, and it gives us absolutely nothing of value in return. In Japan, they actually have a specific word for this enemy, and that word is muda. It's a really simple but incredibly powerful concept. It basically means any activity that consumes resources but creates zero value for the customer. Think of it this way. It's anything the customer is not willing to pay for. It's all the extra stuff we do that adds complexity and cost, but not value. And understanding muda is the absolute key to continuous improvement. So, you might be wondering, how much of what we do is actually muda? Well, the research is kind of shocking. In most operations, a staggering 95% of all activity is waste. Just 5% is actually creating value. But look, that number isn't a reason to get discouraged. It's a massive, massive opportunity. Before we can get rid of waste, we first have to learn how to see it. And that's the tricky part, right? It's usually hiding in plain sight, disguised as the way we've always done things. So this explainer, it's all about giving you a new set of eyes. Think of them as a pair of lean glasses to make all that hidden waste totally visible. Okay, so to help us see, Taiichi Ono identified these distinct categories of waste, but listen, don't think of this as just some boring list you have to memorize. Think of it as a diagnostic toolkit. These are 8 different lenses you can look through to find and identify muda in your own processes. Let's get into them. First up is overproduction, and I really want you to pay special attention to this one. Seriously, lean thinkers consider it the absolute worst of all the wastes, because, as we're about to see, it's the one that gives birth to most of the others. It's that just-in-case mentality that just floods our system with things nobody actually needs yet. And, of course, overproduction leads directly to the waste of inventory. This is all that excess raw material, those piles of work in process, or entire warehouses of finished goods just sitting around. This inventory costs money, it takes up space, and most dangerously, it hides our problems. Then you've got the waste of motion. I mean, think about a poorly laid out workspace. Every single walk to a distant printer, every time someone has to bend down to get a part or twist around to reach for a tool, that's muda. It's pure wasted energy that adds zero value to the final product. Next up is correction, which you might know as defects or rework. This one is probably one of the most obvious forms of waste. Every single resource, the material, the machine time, the human effort that goes into fixing a mistake is 100% pure waste. The goal is to build quality in from the very start, not try to inspect it in at the end. Now, this one can be a little subtle. Overprocessing is basically doing more to a product than the customer actually values or will pay for. It's things like painting a part that no one will ever see, polishing a surface to a mere shine when it's not needed, or adding complicated features that nobody's ever going to use. It's really the waste of good intentions. Oh, the waste of waiting or delay, it is everywhere. It's the operator standing there just watching a machine complete its cycle. It's a patient in a waiting room. It's a piece of code that's just waiting for approval. Anytime work stops because a person, a machine, or some piece of information isn't ready, that's muda. And don't get this confused with the small motions we talked about. Conveyance is the big stuff, unnecessary large-scale transport of materials. Think about forklifts driving inventory all the way across a factory. Every single extra move adds zero value. It only adds risk of damage and delay. And finally, and this is so crucial, we have the waste of knowledge. This is the failure to engage the minds of the people who are actually doing the work. When we don't listen to their ideas for improvement, or we don't harness their unique skills, we are leaving an incredible amount of value on the table. It's that disconnect between management and the folks on the front line. So, let's circle back. Of those 8 wastes, why did I make such a big deal about overproduction being the worst? Well, it's because attacking this one form of muda is the key that unlocks so many others. It truly is the root from which all the other wastes tend to grow. Here's the critical difference. It's all about a pull versus a push system. The lean ideal is to only make what the customer has already pulled from you. But overproduction, that pushes things into the system just in case they're needed. And this just gobbles up resources before they're required. And most importantly, it hides all your problems under a giant mountain of inventory. And right here, you can see the chain reaction in action. Overproduction creates excess inventory, right? That requires motion from workers making things nobody ordered and conveyance to move it all around. It causes waiting as these huge batches create bottlenecks and delays. And it hides defects, making correction way more expensive down the line. See how they're all connected? So we've officially put on our lean glasses. We've learned how to spot the 8 wastes, and we've identified the main culprit in overproduction. But seeing is really only the first step. The entire point of Kaizen is to move from seeing to doing. For everyone here in the Kaizen Academy, I want to be really clear. This is not just theory. This is not an academic exercise. Identifying muda is your starting line. It's how you begin every single improvement project. By simply asking, what waste can I remove from this process, you are starting on the path to creating real, tangible value. The real work, the fun part, it begins right now. It begins when you take these 8 lenses back to your own world, to your own processes. So I'll just leave you with this one question to carry with you. Now that you have the tools to see all the waste hiding in plain sight, what are you going to do about it?